Hi, hello. Thank you for coming in for your appointment today. Would you be able to first start off by telling me what brings you in for our session today? Anything that's been on your mind lately that you would like to bring up and discuss and go over in our session today? Okay, so you're struggling with perfectionism and self-criticism and just overall difficulty having a more positive thought pattern. Okay, thank you for coming in, and I feel like that can be a difficult thing in and of itself, and thank you for letting me know that, and sounds like something that you've been probably carrying for a while, and yeah, something that we can definitely go over in our session today. Um, what I'll probably have you do for me is just answer some initial questions that I have so I can have a better understanding of where you're at and how I can help you today. So, can you tell me about the last time that you felt that you weren't enough or that you weren't being productive enough, that you had to be perfect for something? Can you point to the last time that you struggled with this? Okay. And where were you? Was it triggered by anything in particular? Um, did you have, for example, like an exam going on or a work performance review, or was there anything that triggered it, or was just it kind of a general pressure that you were putting on yourself? Okay. All right. And do you remember when you first started feeling this pressure to be flawless? What was the first instance? Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. And how often do you struggle with perfectionism? Is it a constant thing? Does it happen every so often? Is it triggered like us, for a particular circumstance? When does it tend to flare up for you? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Um, well, I want to say thank you for sharing that. That helps me to understand a little bit better about where you're coming from. And I'm sorry this is something that you've had to deal with for such a long time. Um, but what I can tell you is that you are not the only one who struggles with this. There are tons of people that struggle with perfectionism and self criticism, myself included, and it's not something that is a part of us. The thoughts that you're having are learned and don't actually represent who you are as a person. Um, but what I'm going to have us do for today, for our session, is I'm just going to go over some exercises with you to hopefully help instill a better thought pattern, to have you form a habit of having positive thoughts. And then we're going to also address the negative thoughts, um, to clearly identify those and know that they are not a part of you, but they stem from the part of us that feels pressured, whether it's from ourselves, whether it's by others, whether it's by society, to have this sort of perfectionism. So um, I have some cards here that I have prepared, and these are some affirming words, affirming praises, that I hope that helps you today, but that you carry forward with yourself as well. So let's just go over these together. I'm going to read it out to you, and I want you to either internalize it or say it with me. So this is our first card here. It says, I deserve love, respect, and kindness. So internalize that, say it. That's our first one. All right. I trust myself to make the right decisions. I trust myself to make the right decisions. I am enough exactly as I am. I am enough exactly as I am. Okay. The next one here says, and I want you to internalize it as a belief about yourself. I trust the timing of my life. I trust the timing of my life. All right, the next one here says, and I want you to believe it, I have overcome difficult things before. I can do it again. I have overcome difficult things before. I can do it again. Okay. It is safe for me to slow down. It is safe for me to slow down. It is safe for me to slow down. Okay. I welcome challenges as opportunities to grow. I welcome challenges as an opportunity to grow. I welcome challenges as an opportunity to grow. Okay. The next one here. My worth is not defined by my productivity. My worth, who you are, who I am, is not defined by my productivity. It doesn't matter what you do, how much or how little. It does not define who you are. Okay. I give myself permission to rest and grow. I give myself permission to rest and grow. I give myself permission to rest and let go. I am proud of who I am becoming. I am proud of who I am becoming. I am proud of who I am becoming. I let go of what I cannot control. 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 There are a lot of things that we cannot control. All right. I choose curiosity over fear. So we're going to reframe the way we think about fear, the way we think about risk, the way we think about getting out of the comfort zone. I choose curiosity. I'm open to the experience over fear where I am not. I choose curiosity over fear. All right, our last one. I am more resilient than I realize. I am more resilient than I realize. I am more resilient than I realize. When you stop and you think about all that you do every day and all you've ever done and all that you are capable of, you are more resilient than you realize. Okay, so we have finished our positive affirmation aspect of our exercises for today. And so for our next exercise, I'm going to have you verbalize to me the exact thoughts that run through your mind that are self-critical, that are pessimistic, that are self-deprecating, anything that's negative, any of these thoughts that you're struggling with that are rooted in perfectionism. I would like you to tell me, and I'm going to write them down here on my empty paper cards here, because what I'm going to do is write down exactly what you tell me on here, and we're going to tear it up together. So, what is one of the thoughts that you are struggling with, that whether it's just occasional, whether that it repeats, that is negative? Would you please be able to verbalize that to me and know that it is not a part of you, but it's this these thoughts that aren't rooted in truth, but are rooted in the pressure that we put on ourselves. Okay. All right. So I have it here. And what you said is not true. So what we're going to do is rip up that thought okay, and I'm gonna just throw this off to the side, and I will be putting those in the trash can after the session. Okay, and what is your next thought? Okay. All right. Thank you for taking the time to reflect and know that this thought is not a part of you. So because of that, we're going to disregard it completely. And there it goes. Shredded. Okay. So what is another thought that you have been struggling with? Okay. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Same thing. We're going to rip this up because it's not true. And we're going to put it out of our heads and away in the trash. Okay, I'm gonna need you to tell me another thought that you've been struggling with. Okay, thank you for sharing that. Going to tear that up, just like the rest. And you can do the same exact thing at home. This is just an exercise that we're doing in our session, but I would like you to also, when you find that you struggle with these thoughts, anytime, and I'll give you a set of these cards, and I will also gift you those positive affirmation cards that you can have for yourself. So when you're at home, you can go over these the positive affirmations and internalize those and say those to yourself and believe what you are saying. And I want you to say them out loud. And then with these empty ones, I want you to write down your negative thoughts, rip them up, and throw them directly into the trash, and know that they are not a part of you. You're putting them out onto the page, taking them from your mind and putting it in a place where we can destroy them. So, can you tell me another thought? Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. just like that, and it's gone. And are there any more thoughts that have been terrorizing you, that have been playing over in your mind, that are making you feel the pressure to be perfect, or thoughts that criticize yourself in any way at all? Is there anything else? Okay. There's one more that's really been getting to you. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry that you've been dealing with such a heavy and difficult thought to have go over in your mind and to believe about yourself. But what we're going to do is we have it here. And we're just going to get rid of it. Now, of course, you may still struggle with these thoughts. It's not something that you can just easily get rid of in a session or even in a day, but it is something that over time, building this habit and finding exercises to help manage can definitely help. And so, yeah, that was our exercise. So I'm going to hand you these blank paper cards for you to practice this exercise at home, and then I'll give you the positive affirmation cards here, and feel free to make more. These are super easy to make, even just writing them down in a journal that you have on any sort of piece of paper and internalizing it and believing it about yourself. So I'm just going to give these to you for today. Okay, so that is all the time that we have for our session for today. Of course, please, 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 if you need another session where we go over this, and whether that's this week, whether that's next week, anytime, please feel free to make an appointment with me. I am more than happy to help you with this, because like I said, it's not something that you can just get rid of in a day. It's habits that you form over time, and eventually things do get better, and I want you to remember that. And thank you so much for meeting with me today. How are you feeling after the exercises that we just did? Yeah, that's amazing. I'm glad that it's starting to help. You're starting to internalize more positive self-talk. That's great. But I thank you again for meeting with me, and I can't wait to see you in our next session. And until then, I hope you take care.